What's up guys, I'm here with Jake Olivas and we just did a cool video series called Activate and Release. So what does that mean? Jake's going to be teaching you how to activate the muscle groups that are not working, and I'm going to teach you how to release the muscle groups that are overworking. So in order to have balance in the body, we need both. We need to activate what's not working and we need to release what's overworked so we can achieve that balance in the body. So today we're going to be doing a little bit about the anterior and posterior pelvic tilt, but let's kind of give an example of what's an imbalance in the body? What causes imbalances?
So one imbalance that I've noticed, especially more recently as I've been driving, especially on the way driving here, what I did was I always drive with my left arm here on the steering wheel, and my right arm's down here relaxing. So when I'm turning, I'm getting a lot more adduction, adduction here with my arm. So my left pec is way bigger than my right pec because I never drive with my right arm. So I've been driving for, 10, 12 years, whatever it's been. So for 10 to 12 years, I've been doing this more than my right side. That's why it's so much bigger. So that's what an imbalance is. One side's working more than the other. We can have horizontal imbalances, vertical imbalances, different ways.
Right. So watch the next video series. If you have an anterior or posterior pelvic tilt, this is a great video for you. Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to teach you how to release the muscles that are putting you in an anterior pelvic tilt. But first, when you start to foam roll, you want to make sure that you're using something that's not too aggressive. As you can see here, I have a few options. We have a softer roller, a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, and a really small bouncy ball. If you're a little bit more advanced and you feel like this is not enough, you may want to go to a rumble roller. But if you're barely starting out, start out with the softest thing possible. So let me show you how you're going to do this. I'm going to give you the example with the red roller because it's the softest one. And when you're foam rolling your rectus femoris, which is your quad, you want to start foam rolling from right here, right about the hip, all the way to the knee. So when you're starting out to roll, you want to make sure that you're kind of going back and forth from the hip all the way to the knee. And once you find an area, like a good tender spot that's really feels good, like it needs a good release, hang out right there. Just focus on it and not just foam roll, but foam hold. Hold that position, allow it to break down for 1 minute, and then get out of it slowly. Alright guys, so now that you release the rectus femoris, I want to show you how to actually stretch it and open it up. When you're doing this, you want to do this against something soft like a couch or something you have in your living room. And always put something like a towel underneath your knee so that the knee pain doesn't distract you from the actual stretch. So what I mean by that is when you're putting your knee on the ground, if you're putting it on a hard surface, this may distract you and not allow you to get a full stretch. But now that you have it covered and protected, it's a lot easier to get into the stretch. So the closer the knee is towards the wall or towards the couch, the more you're going to feel the stretch. If you start to feel pain, move yourself away from the couch, okay? So we're going to start about right here. And you want to bring your leg forward like this. As you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're not tilting forward. You want to keep your butt tight and kind of engage it, hold it tight, and you want to start to go forward like this. As you go forward, don't go in aggressive. Make sure that you're just testing how far you can go. And once you feel that, okay, I can go about this far, don't hold it right there yet. Go about 60 to 70%. Hold it there, allow it to break down, and then go a little bit deeper. Each stretch you do should be at least 1 minute to actually break down the fiber. This is the position that you want to be in, and relaxed. Alright guys, so now I'm going to teach you how to roll your psoas muscle, which is right here in the abdomen region. And when you roll this, it's a very sensitive area, so you want to make sure that you use something soft. This is called the Gorgias ball. It's really bouncy, really soft. If you don't have access to getting one of these right away, go to Target or Big Five. They usually have the kid bouncy balls that do this kind of stuff. It'll be the same thing. Make sure it's just soft, nothing too aggressive. So when you're rolling out this area, you want to start from right here, right above the pubic bone, all the way up here towards the chest. So watch me do it. Start it right here, softly, and just going up and down and side to side. Since the muscle runs this way, you want to make sure that you go both ways like this with the grain of the fiber, and you also want to go across it like that. Boom.
2.
Alright guys, so now that we've foam rolled this area up and down and side to side, we're going to get a good deep stretch. So when you're doing this, again, you want to use something soft. Either you're going to be on the carpet in your living room or you want to be on a yoga mat like this. So lay down on the ground like this, and you want to have your hands about chest level. As you're laying down, you want to make sure that you keep your pelvis down, and you want to start to pull up and away like that. And what you're doing here is you're stretching the abdomen and the psoas. And you want to slowly go down and come back up. So once you feel you have a good stretch, you want to hold that right there for 1 minute. And once you get out, never get out aggressively, always get out slow and walk your way out.
Alright, so the first exercise for the anterior pelvic tilt that we're going to have you be doing is a glute bridge. So we're going to get the glutes and hamstrings activated in order to get that pelvis back to a neutral position where it should be. First, start by laying on your back, bending your knees just like so, laying flat. In order to activate the hamstring and butt like I want you to go toes up off the ground, digging the heels down. That way we're driving through the heels and squeezing. So we're going to go squeeze up to here. 1 second pause and relax. Squeeze back up and relax. You can go anywhere from 1 to 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps if you're more out of shape. If you're a little bit more in shape and you can do a little bit of load, you can throw like a medicine ball or something or a dumbbell on the pelvis, and then you can also do a glute bridge like that. If you want to get even more advanced, you can throw a foam roller just like this. Very basic. You can buy this at any fitness store, Big 5, Dick's. And you can lay flat here. Same idea with the glute bridge, but now we're going to roll in. So you're going to come here, squeeze up, and then control back down. Starting with the foam roller belt, just above the ankle joint. Squeeze it up, back down. Now you might feel like you're going to cramp up in the hamstring area, but I doubt that you will, because very, very little people do actually cramp up. They have that sensation of, oh, I'm going to cramp up, but they won't. So just continue through it. Don't feel like you're going to die or anything if you're using a foam roller. I promise it'll be alright. So the second exercise we're going to give you for the anterior pelvic tilt is the cymbal plank. The plank, often done wrong, is a very good exercise for your anterior core, which is the muscle that's weak and causing your anterior pelvic tilt to lean forward just like this. So you're going to start up here, forearm down into the ground, toes on the ground as well. I don't want you to be here in anterior pelvic tilt, right? So we're going to suck that belly button in, keeping it tight, squeeze your butt cheeks, and looking straight down into the ground. You can start off by holding that for about 30 seconds, 1 to 3 sets as well. If you feel like you're ready to advance the exercise and go a little bit harder, grab a foam roller if you have a foam roller, or if you have some sliders at home, you can also use sliders. Forearms down again into the roller, toes into the ground, roll it out, back in, roll out, back in. As you can see, I'm shaking myself, so that's a pretty advanced exercise. Definitely not a beginner's type thing to do there. So if you feel like once after you've done a few sets or a few weeks of the regular original plank, then move on to the foam roller. Very, very good for getting the activation of the anterior core, like we said, and getting that pelvis back to neutral.